Hey friends, it's Cammy. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about being disabled. As a disabled person, I I don't look disabled. Like that's like a thing that people can do. No, I'm kind of what some people would call like having an invisible disability. I'm not like missing a leg or whatever. I'm not as outwardly obviously disabled, even though I absolutely am. So yesterday we went out for a thing. We were gone most of the day. Not most of the day. We were gone in the afternoon. And we went and walked around. My video yesterday said that I had gotten, that we got tired. And that was true of all of us. The teenager, as soon as we got there, he started running and he didn't stop running until we left about an hour and a half or so later. So anytime I do something like that, I need to there's always a trade off. Like when I do stuff like that, I know that I'm going to be kind of miserable the next day. And I have to think, I have to kind of like do the algebra in my head of, whether it's worth the way I'm going to feel. And yesterday was, we went out and we had a really good time. But today I've been laid up all day, and I've got my little friend. Say hello to my little friend! I have to walk with a cane most of the time because it's kind of the life I live now. All right, well, let me tell you a little bit about my disability, and then I can kind of talk about other things. So I have bipolar. I've talked about that a bajillion times. But I also have, for physical issues, I have scoliosis. So on my lower spine, it does this kind of S-curve thing. And then in my upper spine, just up here, it does this kind of like twisty corkscrew looking thing. So it throws my shoulders out. Anyway, it's awful. So I can't work because of these things. The only job I had that I could do for more than okay, so my typical job was about 6 months, is really about the extent of it. However, when I worked as a CNA, I didn't have as many issues, but that job is really, really physically demanding. And I had an old doctor who he didn't like the fact that I worked as a CNA. And he said, "How many old CNAs do you know?" And he had a point. I mean, I knew it was going to eventually catch up with me. And sure enough, it did. And now I walk with a cane and I have a hard time doing stuff. But it sucks. It really, really sucks. My girlfriend keeps trying to tell me that I should get one of the placards for the car so that I can park in handicap parking spots. But I keep refusing to get one. Because it's not, I don't know, it's not as much a concern. There are some days that, like today, that I would have a hard time getting across the parking lot. But when I have days like that, I just don't go places where I have to get out of the car. It's just a thing. So it sucks. It sucks being disabled, and it sucks. Our current kind of political climate is there's no I don't quite know how to articulate it. It's like there's just so much wrong. Like, because if I didn't live with my girlfriend, I would be homeless. Like, the amount of money that I get is like half of what a minimum wage job would be. And rents are out of control. I wouldn't be able to support myself. I would be disabled and living on the street. And unfortunately, a lot of people who are disabled end up living on the street because they just can't afford to survive. And I think that's really, really shitty. And add to the fact that we don't have any kind of marriage equality for disabled people, because, like, if my girlfriend and I were to get married, then I would lose my benefits, and our household income we'd lose about a third of our household income, and it's not feasible. So we continue not being married and not being able to kind of have that experience. As much as we both would love to be able to, we just can't. And there's so much kind of stacked against surviving. I don't exactly know how to put it. I just knew that I wanted to kind of vent and talk about how being disabled kind of sucks. I don't have solutions. Aside from, there's so many just societal issues at play, and just, I don't know. I don't have solutions. I'm just stuck kind of dealing with it. So, yeah, anyway, that's all I got today.